Africa, a wonderful place, home to the first people, the greatest empires, and the best fictional countries. But West Africa, those empires, truly powerful, with wealth and martial power, they were truly wonderful places. Take Ghana, for example, the first one. Did you know that the empire called themselves the Wagadu and the leaders were the Ghana? Really interesting. They were really close to the desert, but they managed by trading. Trading in the Sahara wasn't unheard of, but really rare due to the desert and getting lost and all of that. But Ghana didn't care. They made a trade route. Now people could easily trade the necessities and valuables, gold, grains, and salt, straight from the internet after the new Sonic game was released. But anyways, these routes made trading so much easier. More money for Ghana. That meant more taxing. More taxing meant more money and power, and they grew. More land meant more resources, and more items to tax, meaning more money and, I think you get it. Now the downfall came from the Muslims. Well, not specifically all Muslims. Ghana was very accepting of all people, and even had a city with 12 mosques. No, the Almoravids, who were very militant, were to blame. They were attacking all the empires because they wanted everyone to be Muslim. A holy war, if you will. They ravaged Ghana and took them over. Only for a few years, however, because the conquering messed up the trade routes and the economy crashed. The Susu people decided to occupy the capital, and they stayed for not even 30 years before Sundiata destroyed it and made it part of Mali. Speaking of Mali, that was the second empire in the west. They were founded by the Malinke people and managed to not be attacked by the Almoravids. But the Susu hated them, and they hated the Susu. It was just hate until the Susu leader Sumanguru attacked them. He took the heirs to the Malinke throne and killed them all, except one child, who was so weak he probably wouldn't grow up anyways. Someone didn't read the evil overlords list. Anyway, that kid was named Sundiata Keita, and he came back and killed Sumanguru and took back the land. Rule number 38, right? Afterwards, Mali grew due to military power. They took over a whole bunch of land under the desert, like a lot. Like Timbuktu that far and stuff, Later on came a guy called Musa Keita. Bit of a side note, even though they are no longer controlled by the Masusu, the Mali people were still very Muslim. So this guy Musa decided to go on his pilgrimage. He also brought 60,000 workers, 240,000 pounds of gold, and 80 camels with 2,400 pounds of gold dust. He went along his route and gave the gold to the cities he passed. Got him very popular. Also built mosques, like Harry Elkins Widener. Look him up. Anyways, all this new gold crashed the city's economies. So Musa did the smart thing. Took a loan back for all this gold. Still well known, but what a disaster. But all good things must come to an end. Sure, Mali was huge, but its governing...
No! No! No!
God. People realized, hey, why don't we just become our own place so we don't have to pay the government for all this gold and salt? So they did just that. And since the populations took up the majority of the armies, few could stop them. Nowadays, Mali hasn't fallen, but it's not as great as it was. Now, Songhai is the last good empire in that area. They started when Mali started to stuck. Taking this chance, they captured the good cities like Timbuktu. Then, because of a guy named Soni Ali, they grew bigger than Mali, using their exact same tactics. Talk about dittos. But they fell harder. You know how during the Dark Ages, people who were gonna be a part of the same family and kingdom and stuff would kill each other so that they could become the king? It was like that. But the empire in Songhai couldn't maintain stability because of this. In Europe, all the nations were having this issue, so they were fighting their inner demons, and they really couldn't fight the small wars. But in Africa, only Songhai was the big country that was having this issue, so the people around them attacked them, like, very hard. Then they lost the battle so bad that they didn't have enough resources to keep on going. Then they became a part of Morocco, but only until Morocco just became hot garbage.
But yeah, Islam was crazy infectious in the area. Well, more like a huge chunk of Africa. Remember those trade routes Ghana established? Well, the routes stretched all the way to Southwest Asia. And guess which religion reigned supreme in that area at the time? That's right, it was Islam. So these followers of Islam would stop by in the areas, The religions in Africa tended to be about the family. Lost your job? Ask your great times 8 twice removed grandmother for help. Lost? Give your great uncle some goat intestines to find out which way is west. The ancestors had the highest power. They believed that a creator did exist, but they didn't respect him enough to worship him. So when the Muslims told these people about how powerful the creator actually was, they were speechless. Quite literally, because older African languages didn't have words for abstract concepts or foreign ideas. But Islam changed that. So the Africans would convert to Islam. The leaders were first, and everybody else hopped onto the bandwagon. But the new religion didn't make a super radical impact. Rather, Islam blended in with the traditional beliefs. The ancestors were still prominent, but the creator was the head honcho who got the best sacrifices. The medicine men and witch doctors got the short end of the stick. You'd think that since they were taught religiously before, they still would. But they couldn't read the Quran, and everybody knows that if you can't read it, you go to heck, where there is never enough TP but the toilet always clogs. Even from number 1. Well, Islamitis finally struck, and with it came science, math literacy, and the Almoravids. Whippy.